Welcome along to another opposition preview, the show that gives you a lowdown on Saints' next opponents, and this weekend spells another huge match for the future of some more relegation fodders. Both clubs in the Premier League. Saints travel up to West Brom and the Hawthorns on Saturday afternoon. So with us to tell us all about the Baggies is Josh from the West Brom podcast, the Boing Cast. Thanks for coming by, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, really well, mate. Really well. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. I mean, one place to start. Both clubs, occupying themselves in the bottom three. Baggies go into Saturday currently bottom of the league. You've also had a new manager this season. One of our old boys, Alan Pardew, famously winning the JPT in 2010 for us. But what's it been like under Pardew this season, mate?
It's been, since Pardew arrived, it's been a lot better. I think the thing is with Tony Pulis, it's kind of, we were not only kind of not picking up results, it was kind of soul destroying football. And I think Pardew, in many respects, in his first few games, has had a bit of a free pass because basically he's come in and all fans really wanted was just to see the team, play with a bit of ambition. So the results haven't come as quickly as maybe people were anticipating under Pardew, but he's kind of got away with it to a certain extent because he's trying to implement a kind of new, more exciting style of play. We got our kind of first League 1 in 20 a few weeks ago against Brighton. We beat Liverpool in the Cup. So there is a feeling now amongst the fans that maybe we're just starting to pick up some momentum. But as you say, this game on Saturday is going to be absolutely huge for both clubs.
Yeah, and it's typical that some of these clubs pick up momentum going into play Saints. But Pardew seems to be getting one best out of one of our another one of our old boys, Cyrille Regis, in amongst the goals and keeping fit. Recently, currently on 4 goals in the league, scored a couple last weekend as well. Begs the question to Saints: why do we let him go? I mean, how's he been doing this season?
He, I think, like Rondon, like Robson Kanu, under Pulis, was a real victim of the fact that we were kind of banking up and playing really, really deep and didn't get much service. Since Pardew's come in, he's really come into his own and he's looked more confident. He's had the ball at his feet a lot more, and I sense that that's kind of where he's really, really strong in and around the box. Ever since his injuries, he's kind of lost that obviously half a yard of pace. But, he gets the ball at his feet kind of 25, 30 yards from goal and you always feel like he's going to do something. I feel like he might become a victim of Daniel Sturridge coming into the club. But he's a fantastic option to have in the squad and he's proven to be, in the current market at 12 kind of million rising to 15. Not a bad signing at all.
Yeah, and J Rod's a very likeable guy, and as you say, you expect him to smash it from 25 yards. You mentioned Daniel Sturridge there. Everybody surprised last week. He went where? Daniel Sturridge obviously signed for Baggies for the rest of the season on loan. Reading some of the comments, I think actually on one of your pages, couldn't believe your luck that you got someone like Daniel Sturridge. I mean, what are you expecting from him for the rest of the campaign? Will he start on Saturday?
He should start on Saturday. Yeah, we kind of played quite a rotated team on last night, Wednesday night against Manchester City. So you'd expect him to come into the side. It's a real coup for the Albion. He's the kind of player. If you look at his goal record, he's going in the games that he's actually started in the Premier League. He's going at more than a goal every 2 games. So he's a proven goal scorer. The big if, obviously, is hanging over the transfer. It's the same with the J. Rodriguez one is, can we keep him fit? But if we can keep him fit, he's the kind of player that can really kind of make the difference for a team like us in the relegation zone.
Yeah, and do you think maybe Pardew would think about playing them both together? I mean, certainly those together is a prospect that could, potentially keep you up in the league. Maybe you could draw upon influences from the 2005 year, coming from the bottom of the league, that famous great escape under Brian Robson. Obviously, the same year that we went down, but on that same day, you knocked. You beat the smelly ones down the road to stay up.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we're going to have to channel a similar kind of spirit, I think. We've got a few really kind of winnable home games coming up because obviously from our perspective, we see kind of playing you guys as we have to win that game. We've still got to play teams like Huddersfield, Swansea at home, and we've got 5 or 6 games coming up now that if we kind of pick up 10, 12 points from, which is more than doable, you kind of pick up a bit of momentum and you feel like you can pull yourself away from the bottom of the league. So yeah, it's a really kind of crucial 6-7 weeks for us.
Yeah, and I think it's crucial for us too. But let's try and stay slightly topical as well. Last weekend, clubs drawn together. 5th round of the FA Cup is going to be a case of deja vu in a few weeks' time. Back at the Hawthorns, what was your reaction to the draw?
Again, it's one of those. I was hoping for kind of a poorer team, a Championship League 1, League 2 team still in the competition. It's a case in point really. The cup run has really kind of galvanised our season to a certain degree, and to be able to keep that going, I think is going to be really crucial to our relegation fight as much as anything else. But again, it's always good to have a home draw. I think we'd fancy ourselves in the cup. Pardew seems to have been taking it really, really seriously. So yeah, I mean, after beating Liverpool at Anfield, I think we kind of feel, well, bring it on, whoever. We feel like, there's a certain feeling amongst Albion fans. It's been 50 years since we last won the competition, and there's a feeling that maybe this is the year.
And some of our old boys that have been reading our fanzine for a long time will remember in 1976, Saints played West Brom in the 5th round. Then we went on to win that competition that year.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's like kind of, especially when we're in the division that we're in, you're kind of clasping at straws, trying to get, oh, well, it's 50 years since that. It's 1976 this. But yeah, I think, look, I think whoever wins this tie, in all seriousness, has a real chance of kind of going really, really deep into the competition. So I think it's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, and finally, this Saturday, it'll be a very sort of sombre, poignant affair. Just tell us about what's going on around the ground, the tribute to Cyrille Regis.
Yeah, so it's the first home game since he obviously sadly passed away, and I think there's quite a lot kind of planned, a lot that the club are kind of keeping under wraps, but they're encouraging all fans, Southampton and West Brom fans, to bring kind of scarves to the ground. I think there's going to be kind of a scarf holding up tribute, and they're kind of playing with a big kind of sewn on Cyrille Regis crest in the middle of the shirt as well. So I think it's going to be kind of some really kind of extended tributes to him, because he's in the right up there with our kind of greatest ever. So it's going to be quite an emotional day, and obviously we're hoping that kind of emotion is going to galvanise the players into picking up all 3 points. But I'm sure you'll be wanted to say something about that.
It was similar to what happened actually when we travelled to Watford at the beginning of January. It was a tribute to Graham Taylor, and I do encourage any sort of Saints fans going up on Saturday to raise a scarf and do what you can to pay tribute to that. That is a legend to the game. But excellent stuff, mate. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully we'll catch up on Saturday.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks for having me on, mate.
No problem. And go ahead and check out the Boing Cast over in iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts from. And don't forget to leave us your predictions for what is another 6-pointer at the Hawthorns on Saturday afternoon. Leave us your likes, your comments, and subscribe for more.